Ron DeSantis, the Tallahassee Mussolini, is back in Tallahassee before the New Hampshire primary, and he's already endorsed Donald Trump. He is in line, and he will stay in line for the rest of his days. Ron DeSantis took a shot at the king, and the king, that is Donald Trump, has defenestrated him. For Ron DeSantis, the man who said he'd never back down, he didn't just get back down, he got rolled over. His campaign saw him fighting with 14-year-olds on the campaign trail, elderly women, and everybody else in between. He'll mostly be remembered for his odd pudding eating habit, slurping it off his small fingers, and his boots. He'll be remembered for his boots. One thing that will always be true in America is that nobody who ever wears an outfit like this will ever be elected president of the United States. Whatever they call that, Florida chic, resort wear, whatever, is just not going to catch on. And so he's out. He's done. And the race in New Hampshire is down to Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. And Nikki Haley will be the next candidate in line to support Donald Trump, who will wrap up the Republican nomination for president in less than 24 hours' time, even if he manages to lose the race to Nikki Haley. Because in the end, there is no other place on the map that Nikki Haley will win. And the next state, bad luck for her, is South Carolina, her home state, where she was governor for 8 years. If the state that sent you forward as a governor for 8 years rejects you in your presidential campaign, it's over. And it will be over for Nikki Haley. Nobody has ever wrapped up the Republican nomination this early. It is a staggering political feat. And it comes nearly 3 years to the day after Donald Trump incited a mob to murder the peaceful transition of power in the United States. Trump is running on a premise that he can do anything if he's president. He can exercise power indiscriminately. He can jail his political foes, and his lawyers argue that Donald Trump, if he chose, could murder anybody with SEAL Team 6 just because he doesn't like the way they look. Turnout collapsed in the Iowa caucuses, and we'll see what happens in New Hampshire. But an extremist mob that is a smaller and smaller percentage of the Republican Party has hardened itself as the core of the party and controls it lock, stock, and barrel. The entire country has a simple job in the election ahead. It's to deliver a message to the MAGA extremists. And the message is simple. No, no, thank you. We won't be ruled over by you. It's a freak show, and it's time to end it. This election requires a simple strategy. I'm going to enunciate it. Whomever the election is about will be the person who loses. What that means is this election must be about Trump, his derangements, his insanity, his malice, and his off-the-wall plans to be an American dictator. The American people have to tell him no and send him forever on his way. When that happens, we'll be able to start talking about a future that will have to wait until 2028 to start. Until then, the best that this country can hope for is to avoid catastrophe. And that catastrophe would be Donald Trump returning to power.